Hello, everyone. I'm Robin. I'm your host, and welcome to the I Am Something Beautiful virtual summit, where experts are going to reveal how women create meaningful and intimate relationships through connection, care, and commitment to self. Today, I'm so excited to introduce you to a dear friend of mine, Luna Starfeather. Luna is a trauma-informed holistic therapist, combining 16 years of experience in the field of holistic medicine to offer a unique package of divinely guided, multidimensional healing. And I get to say personally, I've witnessed this healing and it is brilliant and beautiful. Luna works on all levels. She blends transformational life coaching, energy medicine, inner child healing, NLP, EFT, Zen meditation and mindfulness, belief clearing, quantum healing, intuitive guidance, and soul level blockage removal to help you identify and permanently clear any blockages to the embodiment of your full potential self and bring you into alignment and integrity with your soul, higher self, intuition, sovereignty, self love, and your highest path and purpose. So, my dear Luna, thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, thank you, Robin. It's so lovely to be here.
Yes. And as we've talked and gotten to know each other over the years, this one word comes back all the time, and it's sovereignty. Tell us
Mhm.
what sovereignty is to you and how these women can create meaningful relationships with themselves through that sovereignty.
Yeah, so sovereignty is something very personal to me. It's why I've recently started calling myself a sovereignty coach, because this is very much the path that I'm walking, not just on a professional level, but very much on a personal level. And it's, like most things, it's a path that I don't believe is ever really complete. It's just a constant work in progress. But for me, sovereignty is all about, if you think about what a sovereign truly is in the literal sense of the word, it's an absolute ruler. There's no one above them. And so for me, personal sovereignty is all about getting yourself, to me, it's a frequency, actually. It's a way of being. And it's about getting yourself into a place where you have absolute autonomy over your own being in all sense of the word. So, in other words, you are not dependent on anything or anyone outside of you for your own sense of self, self-worth, self-love, freedom. You're not accountable to anyone. You're not bound to anyone or anything. And it doesn't have to be people. It could be addictions. It could be anything energetic that we are either consciously aware of or perhaps unconsciously being influenced by, which is where we get into all the quantum and soul level stuff, which I find really exciting. So for me, sovereignty is all about releasing the various blockages and bindings and ties, even on a karmic level and a quantum level, releasing the layers of codependency, the things that are keeping us in a state of codependency or dependency or blocking our true freedom, our true autonomy. And yeah, no longer being influenced or bound by anyone or anything outside of yourself for your sense of safety and well-being, the ability to self-validate and survive from within. So
Right.
yeah, it means a lot of things, but for
It
me,
does.
that's the crux of it.
And that's a beautiful thing to finally find that piece. That's something as we've connected, I've been working on myself to find that, but I can feel all of these women and all of these questions like, how do I do that though, being a wife or a partner or a mother? How do I find that sovereignty with all of those human relationships that I have?
Yeah, it's a big one. And especially when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to romantic relationships, because, if you think about it, as soon as we come into this world, the aspirational model that we're given of what true love is, true romantic love is one of codependency. We're fed all these messages, but Disney has a lot to answer for, in my opinion. But we're fed all these messages from movies and books, and all these messages like, you complete me. I'm looking for my other half. I would die without you. I can't live without you. The actual model of true love that we're aspiring to have is essentially codependency, which is unhealthy attachment. And it's the complete polar opposite to sovereignty, because in the quantum sense, energetically, sovereignty is the exact opposite of victimhood. So it's about systematically freeing yourself from any sense of victimhood in any aspect of your life, whether it is relationships or anything else for that matter, in order to achieve that true sense of authority and autonomy over your own self. But it's a big one, and again, for most people, it's a constant work in progress, because we're having to unravel this programming and this conditioning that is in direct opposition to what we're trying to achieve.
Right. Oh, it's so true. It's so true. And then every time you connect with someone new or start a new relationship, whether it's personal or professional, you really have to like almost double check yourself to make sure you're staying in that realm of sovereignty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I said, it's a constant work in progress, myself included. And
Right.
it's layer by layer.
Totally, totally. So as clients come to you, whether it's for sovereignty coaching or just that transformational life coaching that we all need, what do you see as maybe the one or two big indicators of why people are looking for transformation and healing right now?
I think the thing that people generally present as their big problem, their big block, their roadblock, their obstacle that's standing between them and their true happiness is this sense of feeling trapped, or a lack of hope, or a lack of love in their lives. And this is the most interesting one, because actually, no, that's not true. The trapped and the love are the most interesting ones. The trapped, when people present as, I feel trapped in my life, that obviously rings the bell of victim.
Mm-hmm.
People feeling like a victim in their own lives, in as much as they are not in the driving seat. They are not the director of their own story. They're in the passenger seat, and they are in reaction to what is being presented to them in their lives. In other words, other people and things are dictating the course of their experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the lack of love piece seems to come again from people when they present that as if they're looking for love in their lives, but they're constantly looking outside of themselves. They're like, where is it? Why can't I find it? Or I get a taste and then it's gone, or I find it and then it turns bad. And then I'm back to square one. And what I sort of systematically try and help people to understand within themselves is that they're looking in the wrong place. And that true love and freedom, so the opposite of lack of love and being trapped, the true love and freedom they're really searching for is within themselves. And I know this sounds like a huge cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. It's true. And so that's what I help people do is just remove the shrouding, the layers, the blockages that are standing between them and their true authentic self, and help bring them into alignment with their soul, so they can access that divine love and that divine truth and wisdom from their soul, and they find what they're looking for. And then consequently, everything else starts to show up as if by magic in their lives that they've been searching for. And people are absolutely astounded every time. They're like, oh, they get to a level of self-love, and they're like, oh my God, all of a sudden this man's come into my life and I've never had a relationship like this before. I'm like, oh, that's funny. So it really is inside out work.
It really is. In fact, I was just reading this, you and I paralleling again. I was reading a book last night called The Circle of Fire, and it's the same, and forgive me for forgetting, it's the same author as The Four Agreements. And it said in there, and it was like these, sometimes we read things or hear things and it's like neon warning lights. It's like, hello, pay attention. And it literally said, do you love, honor, and respect yourself? If no, then no wonder you've had one heartbreaking relationship after another. Because that love, honor, and respect gets to come from inside so it can match and be brought in. So you're right, it does need to start from the inside. And that's why this summit came together, because so many of my clients are like, I need help with this person, I need help with this person, when really it's bringing it back to that connection and care and commitment to ourselves and learning who we truly are at a core level. So I love this work that you're doing and how much you're helping people transition and transform into their highest and best selves. So thank you for being that conduit of love and support and healing for so many people.
Oh, bless you. It truly is an honor and a privilege to watch people transform before my eyes. And, you know, I'm right there with them on this journey, walking the path and then, you know, attracting the people to me that seem to need exactly what I've just managed to grab for myself. And, you know, just to circle back to what we were just talking about, when you land on the realization that everybody in our lives is a mirror and a reflection of the way that we feel about ourselves, the way that we treat ourselves, it puts relationships in a whole new light.
It does. Mm-hmm.
And we can
Yeah.
attract that healthy, aligned relationship that we desire and deserve once we have achieved that with ourselves and not
Yeah.
before.
It's so true. To be able to finally take that, yeah, to be able to take that step back and be in that awareness of it's about me and who I am and where I'm going and what I'm traveling. And you're right, those different people come in and out of our lives to help us grow. In fact, I just was giving gratitude for someone in my life right now for giving me so many triggers so I can learn and grow and
Yeah.
and that person was open to receive that instead of being in offense to it. It just shows us that the more that we're connecting to ourselves, the more that we are connecting to people that are on that same page and that same wavelength.
Yeah, and people are reflecting and back to us and highlighting our wounding and showing us where we're needing the healing. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you for that. And also reflecting back to us, you know, where we are in the positive sense as well. So if you want to, you know, get an idea of how on track you are within your own path, just take a look at your intimate relationships, and they're a beautiful mirror.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So let's get back to the sovereignty coaching just a little bit. As someone steps into this realm with you, what is, I guess, maybe kind of your first basic steps or first conversations that you have with those clients to help them understand where they are and where they want to get to?
Well, I mean, I wish I could give you a formula. It's so unbelievably unique
Mm-hmm.
to every single individual. And I like to be quite client-led. So and also because I work as a conduit, I work in collaboration with spirit. It's so divinely guided. I never know where we're going to start, to be honest. I never know what we're going to do. And because I like to work on all the levels with people, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, soul level, quantum level, I never know what angle we're going to come in at with them, where we're going to start. I'm generally guided. You know, with some people we have to go in through the mental level and work on mindsets because it's all coming from there. With some people we have to go, and it depends the level that they're at, you know, how much work they've done prior to coming to see me. I tend to attract people who are on the verge of some massive breakthrough, who are ready to take the leap. And that's why I'm a soul activator. That's one of my divine gifts. So they come in when they've been doing a significant amount of searching and reflecting, and more often than not, some kind of work on themselves, and they're ready to leap. And then I come in, and they just have some sort of quantum shift.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, for some people, we have to go in on the emotional level and go to like the inner child to do inner child healing. I tend to find the soul level work that I do, that like the karmic level, you know, the quantum healing, that tends to be the final layer. And there are mixed opinions about this, but for me, I feel as human spiritual beings, it's so important to be grounded in our spirituality, as above, so below, right?
Right.
Not to spiritually bypass the human experience. I very much believe in walking the process, feeling all the feelings, so that your psyche can process and adjust the shifts that you're making, you know, on a mental level, on an emotional level. And then the work I do on the soul level is we electrically disengage certain, what I call ids, which are identities, energetic blockages from the field, and we wipe them clean from the soul memory and from the Akashic records so that they can never be repeated over and over and over again. But if we were to cut straight to that and the mindset hasn't been adequately adjusted, you can just create more and more of those blockages within yourself. So that's why I tend to go to that place last. But of course, everybody is just so individual and everyone's at a different level. It's impossible to answer that question, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no, and totally. And I appreciate that, because those of us that do work in the spirit realm, it is divine, and it is, what's my word? Very unique and customized for each client that comes in. And I appreciate that you keep referencing that you are doing your own work and connecting to that, because it's come up quite a few times in these interviews that we can only help our clients to the level of work that we've done in ourselves. And to be able to see that next level of clients coming in, it's almost kind of a validation for us as healers to be like, yes, we've done some work and we're leveling up. So with all of the work that you've done personally and the work that you have done with others, is there, I call it my golden nugget, is there like a $10,000 golden nugget of information or wisdom that you feel inspired to share with those watching today?
Oh, wow. Oh,
On the
I mean,
spot.
there's so many. I mean, because I'm on this journey 24/7. It never stops. So I'm landing on these golden nuggets daily at this point. So it's impossible to try and pull one out the bag on the spot. I can't believe you did this to me, Robyn. Oh, have a think. I mean, the thing that's popping that I guess is active in my field for me right now on my own personal journey that just keeps popping in is just this sense of divine selfishness, is what I like to call it. Because there's this dreadful stigma around the term selfish, that as empaths and givers and people pleasers and rescuers, and a lot of our lot have in common is we are, and especially as women, we are taught and we are programmed to put ourselves last, to be of service first, which is a massive distortion, because it's the old put your mask on, your oxygen mask on first, and you can't serve food from an empty plate. If we don't serve ourselves first, we are empty and we have nothing and to give to others. And then that's essentially martyrdom, which is not healthy. And it just drains and depletes us of our energy and keeps us in a negative cycle. So I mean, it took me about 38 years to really integrate this. I knew it intellectually for a very long time, but I think it really only landed within my body and my being, and I was actually able to start applying it in practice in my real life at the age of 38, and I've just turned 40, so not that long. And divine selfishness for me is the secret, is the answer to being in alignment with your soul and being in energetic integrity so that you can remain healthy, you can remain in alignment with your soul, you can remain on purpose, and so that you're only ever giving from overflow, which means that you are full up from yourself, and therefore you have reserves to spare for everyone else without depleting yourself. And so divine selfishness is about putting yourself first, which doesn't occur to a lot of us. I mean, like I said, it took me 38 years to even feature on the list at all. I didn't even realize it was an option. It was such a light bulb moment when I was like, oh, I'm here for myself as well as being of service to others. I had no idea. Yeah. And it sounds so stupid when I say that out loud. It just went against all of my programming. And so, yeah, the divine selfishness for me is a true honoring of myself, of my soul, of my energy, and the greatest act of self-love that I could possibly enact, so that you're always coming from a place of love for yourself and for others. Yep. So I think that's the golden nugget that I would love to just share, is to find a place of divine selfishness, because then you're never in resentment, you're never in exhaustion and depletion, and you are truly being of service in a divine way, not in a martyr-like way. You're healthy, you're in integrity.
No, I love that. I do. And I love how you explain that, because as the thoughts are going through my head, it's not just for those that are moms or partners, but even professions. Sometimes we give so much to our profession that we forget to take care of ourselves. And it doesn't have to be something that is all day long that you have to cut people out. I mean, for me, it's 5-10 minutes a day of just really connecting with myself and having those messages, and just having that breath for a minute to allow to clear. So it doesn't have to be huge extremes. It can be something simple every single day to take care of ourselves. So that's beautiful. Thank you for tapping in and sharing that golden nugget of self-love.
And just to add something to that, the simple act of saying no, that's a huge act of divine selfishness. And yeah, that's what I've noticed is a big symptom of transformation for people that I work with, is they suddenly find their no. It's a big one.
And very powerful to be able to say that and trust within yourself that you're saying it for the right reasons. Definitely. Definitely.
Love, not fear.
Yes. Totally. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom and your insights and your beautiful gifts with so many people. I truly treasure you as a friend and a equal and a cohort and a healer, and I just adore you. So thank you so much for sharing you today.
Thank you. Back at you. Thank you.
And you've made reference to this. You're offering a free gift today of a quantum healing clearing. Will you share what that's about and why you've chosen to share that with us?
Sure, yeah. So it's a quantum level heart clearing. And certainly for me and for a lot of people out there, the heart center is everything. It's everything. And, you know, in energetic terms, it is the place of balance. It's the place of transformation. It bridges the higher chakras and the lower chakras. And it's also the heart space, I believe, is the gateway. It's the portal to our very soul. It's the space of divine truth, wisdom, where we can access that voice from our soul, from our higher self, that bypasses the ego, that gets us out of the head and into the heart. And for most of us, there are so many energetic blockages within our heart space, you know, from experience such as betrayal, rejection, abandonment, you know, and it creates, you know, actual blockages within the heart space that makes it very difficult to access that self-love, because the heart is a two-way channel for giving and receiving. And for a lot of us, it's blocked either one way or both ways. So it makes it also difficult to receive love. That was my big thing. The giving channel was free and clear, but to my detriment. But I couldn't let love in. I just couldn't. Not from myself, not from anyone else. So what this clearing provides is it gets you into a theta brainwave state, and that is the level where your subconscious is most receptive to change and transformation, like when you're being hypnotized, or just before you fall asleep, or just when you've woken up, that level. And I perform an auric and karmic clearing on the heart chakra. And for most people, they've never experienced a 15-dimensional chakra clearing. Just, you know, most people have just had clearings on their 7 embodied chakras. But the difference when you have a quantum level clearing is that the energetic blockages are cleared from all 15 layers of your multidimensional anatomy and transmuted into a no thing, into unmanifest matter. So that's when permanent healing can occur. So this is what I'm offering from the heart center. And obviously I offer it on all the levels. I do full auric clearings and personalized karmic clearings as well. But this will give people a taste of just how powerful this can be. So I hope that everybody benefits so much from my heart to yours. This is my offering.
Thank you so much. That's such a beautiful gift. And I really do hope everyone takes a moment to check into that and try that and witness the powerful words and energy healing that Luna has to offer. So thank you again for sharing you today. And if you want to connect directly with Luna and also get her free gift, all the information is down below. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We wish you a brilliant and magical day. And remember, you are something beautiful.